Good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Anime Legends Podcast, and today we will be reviewing Gangsta and Gakkou Gurashi. I'm Kimmy Chan,
And I'm Mark.
Deshaun.
and here we'll start. So first, we're gonna do Gangsta. Today's episode 3. Briefly, I'm gonna say that it was felt more like an exhibition episode. We got some background mainly on Warwick this week more than Nick. What we come to know is that that Warwick's family was massacred 22 years ago by, we presume, Nick, and they have known each other for those amount of years. And also, we also come to find out that for that time period, since he was about 13 to 14 years old, he's been working as a gigolo, or better yet known as a male prostitute. So, what
Tishawn's
do you
giggling
think?
over here.
All right, so Sean?
Well, what I liked about this episode of Gangsta specifically was the fact that they got out of the action and they just went and jumped straight to the history of our characters. They were a little vague about it, but it was pretty good to me. Um, Let me see what else. Oh yeah, there's also I know that there's a lot of people who may have questions about this female character who's sick and has a connection to Nicholas. Obviously, I am not the person that will answer that. Whatever question it is for you, I cannot answer that. I'm curious myself. Nicholas. Oh wait, not Nicholas. In this episode, we also see Alex is I believe that she's now separating from both Warwick and Nicholas, and it appears that she may be leaving the city or country or whatever it is. Um, Let me see. I think that's about it for me.
Okay, Mark?
All right. All right. For me, I think it was a good episode, focused more on exhibition, on exposition. I mean, and about kind of what was Warwick's life before he kind of settled down into the city and became a handyman with Nick. And Alex is kind of playing the role of like the person who's like asking all these questions, like what were these two like, how were they, and whatnot. And towards the end of the episode, she kind of brought up Nicholas's and Warwick's tribal tattoos that they both have. Now, see, I don't know what those tribal tattoos are, but they both appear to be the same thing, so they probably have some kind of past connection, like Kimmy said, like they could possibly have been like in the same tribal situation from when they were young, like in their early teens.
Also, I want to say is like there was a particular scene when they went to the nightclub that Big Mama works in, that she operates in, and we come to see that Nicholas was in a room with a woman who we found out is very sick to the point that she can only eat one meal per day and she can't get up. And probably this may have been a question towards everyone's mind who was watching this episode. What relation does Nick have with this woman in particular? Is she a family member, a past lover? Does she know? Does she come from the same background as Nick and Warwick? What is she to those two specifically? And Alex was like, she represented us, the watchers. She was always wondering, was asking the questions of what is going on and what is happening around here, and like, should she leave the town or should she stay? That is one of the other questions of for this week's episode. Anything else before we move on to our next?
Well, also about the man who slaughtered Warwick's family. I mean, I know that he appears to be Nicholas, but I mean, him being Nicholas is a pretty good assumption. That would be taking into consideration that dog tags might have a little system of ranking up, because on the back of that assailant, I saw A18, and we all know Nicholas's number is A0. So unless there's some form of ranking, then I believe you're oh, yeah, unless there's some form of ranking, then I guess that man is Nicholas. But here's why I don't think that man is a Nicholas because, well, it's a vague explanation, but I remember a clip within the episode where the two were standing beside each other, and when I paying it comparing that clip and the clip where Warwick was against the wall while his family had just gotten slaughtered. I don't believe that the man standing beside Nicholas in the alley, which was him and Nicholas, the man standing beside Derek in the alley, and the man inside of his home, they're clearly two different people. But that's just comparing their sizes and all of that, which is why this, like I said, it's nation. But that's about it.
Any final thoughts on this episode, Mark?
Other than the speculation about Alex possibly leaving the city and the possible assailant of Warwick's family about 22 or so years ago, and about his family and whatnot, like it's possible it could be Nick, it could not be Nick. I mean, people seem to be divided about it from what I've seen so far, anyway. Other than that,
All right. So now we gonna get into the segment with Gakkou Gurashi. This episode also episode 2. This episode also felt a little like an exhibition where we saw the girls trying everyday survival at the school due to a zombie outbreak that is happening, and we get a little background story on
Kurumi.
Harumi. I have to always remember her name. He was shown that she used to have a crush on one of the senpais in her school, and it comes to find out that he himself turned into a zombie, and she had no choice but to kill him before he killed her. So, survival of the fittest, kill or be killed in that situation. And in a way, I kind of found that kind of sad. I mean, she had a crush on him, and she was even willing to go to the same college as him by the time she was ready to graduate. And to find him turn into something so grotesque, that was kind of sad. That was what stand out to most to me in that episode.
what are your thoughts, Sean?
Well, wait, this is our first review for Gakkou Gurashi, right?
Yeah, episode 2.
Yep.
Okay. So for those of you out there who actually have watched Gakkou Gurashi, I know that plot twist in the end of episode 1 blew your mind because it did blow mine. Like
Yeah.
it did.
It blew everybody's mind.
Well, so now we clearly have this delusional character Yuki, which is who I'm focusing on for this review. Yuki and Megumi. So in the library when Yuri saw spotted the zombie, Yuri, I mean, as the person who claims to be in charge of them, she did the right thing in going to find help. But I actually think that it was a retarded idea. Yuri, Yuri, knowing Yuri as a delusional person, she should have just rushed to Yuri to make sure that everything was okay or whatnot. But I guess it was a fair dealing with it though. But Megumi, I have a hard time believing that Megumi is an actual character. The only interactions between Megumi and the other three characters is when they're thanking her, and I believe that's just to help carry Yuri throughout this epidemic. And the scene where Megumi was comforting Yuri when the zombie was I fucking gotta say
In the
when
library.
Megumi was comforting Yuri.
Library.
My little theory for that is that back in the back of her mind, Yuri knows what's going on around her, and it was at that moment where she had to toughen up and accept reality for what it was. What else? Yeah, I believe that's about it for me.
All right.
Um,
All right.
can this even be edited?
I don't know. I don't
Probably.
think it's live.
There's a lot of
All right.
swearing.
Well. All right. And for me, for Gakkou Gurashi, I mean, it seems to pretty much be focusing on how Yuki's little delusions are kind of just going out through her normal daily life as if nothing is wrong, but the other characters kind of have to, deal with that in their own little ways. Like, Michan is kind of like her little caretaker since she kind of just follows her around somewhere wherever she goes, and they all have like their own little responsibilities. Like, Kurumi is kind of on like patrols and kind of just keeping watch for any of the zombies that kind of wander the hallways. And like Kimmy said, like she's the one who's probably affected by this the most at this current moment in time, since she had to already have kill someone that she was already close to since this whole thing started. And I might have to disagree with Tayshawn on the fact that Megumi, the teacher, influenced, yeah, because like I don't think she's like a little figment of her imagination, because when they were in the classroom right after she left for the whole to go doing the one-on-one study session or whatever, they did, like, even after she left, they did acknowledge that she was actually there. Like, all right, she'll be fine. Like, at least she's with, the teacher. So I don't really think she's kind of, like a figment of Mickey's imagination or anything like that. Like, I think she's actually, there.
And I mean, like, if anybody reads the manga, I don't want them to spoil it. And I have seen a little spoilers myself of the connections with the teacher. And, like, I mean, it gets pretty tough throughout the whole thing. But I don't think she is a fragment of her imagination. I mean, she's been there since episode one, and she seems very real, not only to Yuki but to the rest of the club members. She seems very real, and they interact with her. But I have a feeling she might be the first of them to go. I have a big feeling she is either her or the mother-like character. I can't remember her name.
Her name is
The class president.
Yuri.
The class president,
Yuri?
either her or yeah, Yuri, either her or the fat or Megumi sensei, Sakura sensei, that's her name. Oh, Sakura sensei is either her or Megumi that will die first out the group. I have a big feeling they are either one of them is gonna die first.
Well, I guess to close up for me, the only interactions that I've seen between the other characters and Megumi was when they were thanking Megumi for her action. I don't find it coincidental. I don't find the fact that Megumi is always interrupted when she's trying to speak in front of the group. I don't find that coincidental. This is what pushes me towards my theory. And also there's the fact that she's a character that to me is a little suspicious about well, not suspicious, that's not the word I'm looking for, I'm sorry. Um doubtful? Yeah, I believe I could, yeah, doubtful. I think it's a word. So she's doubtful about the actions, their actions towards how Yuki is taking this entire thing, which is totally normal to me because honestly, if there was a zombie epidemic around me and I was with um gosh, if this can't be edited, I will be so sad, man.
He'll be fine.
Good.
Well, if I was to be pushing through a zombie epidemic with a delirious person, I personally would want to get rid of that person as that. I find it impossible to survive a zombie epidemic with somebody like Yuki, but I don't know. It's whatever, man. She's the youngest person. Well, she thinks
No,
like
she's a
No, she's not.
senior.
he's
Yeah, she's a third
Miki
year.
is the youngest. Miki is the youngest. She
wow.
refers to
Right.
everybody else as senpai, and Yuki is
Yeah, I guess I should have spotted that.
yeah, Yuki is the
Right.
senpai.
But I guess
I think she's the only senior. She's the only senior. But this was a good episode. It was an okay episode. Like
hey, you.
nothing too crazy. We had
Nothing too crazy happened.
Oh, we're
nothing
talking
too
about.
crazy. Probably later episodes we'll see some crazy stuff happening. But for now it's easy going, and all I have to say is for people that is questioning the series due to how it looks, yes, it misleads a lot of everybody, because at first I didn't even want to watch the series because of how it looked so moe and school life, and I thought, I'm not into that really. I'm not into slice of life like that and moe looking characters, but that twist at the end of episode 1 had me hooked. So to anyone that's questioning whether they want to watch the series or not, we highly recommend this series. I think it's probably one along with Gangsta and probably one or two other animes
Lord.
that's really good for this summer. Really highly recommend this series. So what do you guys rate Gangsta's episode this week out of 5, and Gurashi's episode out of 5 for this week? What's your rating?
All right. So for Gangsta, I would have to give this one. I would say a 3.5 out of 5, just because it focused purely, more on exposition. So it was just more of like an information giving type episode. And Gakkou Gurashi, I would probably get the same score because it's kind of like it's just getting started. So it's more of like, all right, this is how they're pretty much dealing with the situation around them and how they deal with Miki and her personality and her own little delusions or whatnot. So this is like kind of showing their approach to things,
Okay.
and that's probably how they're going to deal with it. What are your thoughts, Sean?
Well, I'd rate the third episode of Gangsta maybe a 4 because I actually think that it would be good to like have a couple of episodes explaining the character's background. I wouldn't enjoy watching an anime where everybody's just fighting whoever and there's no explanation whatsoever. And for
Right.
Gakkou?
um Gakkou Gurashi, I'd rate that episode maybe like 3.5, 4, somewhere along the line. I have no explanation for that. I'm just
Well, I'm gonna go with what Mark said. I'm gonna give Gangsta 3.5. Like I said before, it's more of an expedition episode. It gave a lot of information, especially towards Warwick and his past with Nicholas. And for Garashi, nothing too crazy. It just felt like a lax episode with just a little history on Komori's side. So it's a 3.5 for that episode as well. It's an okay episode, not too crazy. For both episodes, it's not too crazy. So until then, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It will really help our channel out. And check out our Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. And if you have any questions, we would love for you to send us any questions on one of those websites. And until then, we're out. Bye.
Bye.